Smash 4 was the first Smash game I ended up playing around launch, and the hype until I got the game was pretty high. Watching the character reveals and other stuff like the 50 Factor Extravaganza was really exciting to me. And when I got my hands on the game, I definitely play a whole lot, and even after Smash Ultimate, this definitely has to be one of my most played Smash games, and Smash 4 has to be one of my most played Wii U games at this point. And I think there's a whole lot to love about Smash 4, both across the Wii U version and the 3DS. But this video will mostly talk about the game in general, since the two versions are pretty similar, but if there is anything in one version, I will make sure to bring it up. And one thing I still love about this game definitely has to be the extra side modes, both in single player and multiplayer. I think a lot of them are super fun, from all-star, special orders, along with event matches. There's also a classic mode and multi-man smash, target blast, and the home run contest, which I still find mostly fun, even though, say for example classic mode, I'm not too thrilled about. Even modes like Smash Tour in the Wii U version, I found sort of fun, but I still think it could be done a lot better since it does feel slow paced, and I feel the RNG is just really high in this mode. Smash 1 on the 3DS was far better to me, but even then that had some limitations. Overall, I still think there's a good amount to do in these games other than normal Smash battles, and I love that. I also love the gameplay, but I feel for a Smash title that's kind of expected. I think this entry is very fluid, and while I'm more used to Smash Ultimate at this point, it's still pretty nice. I'm also really surprised to see how they translated this on the 3DS and how well it runs there. But the Wii U does have the advantage of being able to use more standard controllers, which I do kind of like better, but I still think it's fun regardless of the system. I really also did end up enjoying the roster for this game, both with the returning characters and how some of them had their moveset changed, along with a lot of the newcomers I ended up, again, really liking. But for the veterans, I actually liked how Pit has a more normal, or at least adjusted moveset, because his one in Brawl was pretty weird, but with him, I actually liked his dash attack and some other moves a lot better, and for say characters like Charizard, Sheik, and Zelda, I kind of liked them having their own character slot, even though Charizard got changed back into Pokemon Trainer later on in Smash Ultimate, but for Smash 4 I think it's fine. And also newcomers like Shulk, Robin, Wiiu, and Cloud, I still really enjoy as well. And while I did stick with Link throughout most of the game's life, and I still love to play him, the roster still has to be one of the best ones, to me at least, and I know Smash Ultimate improved on that, but for just the final version of Smash 4, it is pretty nice. The game also does look fantastic, both on 3DS and Wii U. Naturally, I do prefer the Wii U version just because it's in HD, the game looks super colorful, and I love the style. The 3DS one still looks pretty good, and I think it's one of the best games, at least visually, on the handheld. Even older stage they brought back I think definitely look pretty sick, especially the ones they brought back in the Wii U version, considering that again it's in HD now. Another part of the game that I actually ended up really enjoying was the custom moves, because they were pretty fun to mess around with. This also does apply to like the equipment you can give to characters, because again you could just do some really dumb shit. But while getting these custom moves were annoying, I still liked how much they changed each of the characters' moveset, and how, you know, it just made them a lot more unique. And while I didn't use them a whole lot later on in the game's life, it was still a really fun option to mess around with whenever I did. Smash 4 definitely is one of my favorite Smash games, and definitely one of my favorite games of all time, but I feel a lot of that is just because I'm nostalgic for it. It's kind of weird saying that for a game that came out about 7 years ago, but it is kind of true since, again, I watched a lot of the previews and played the game all throughout high school. But even then, there were still some issues that I had with the game, like, for example, the limited online option. And a lot of the problems I do had kind of lasted throughout the game's lifespan, so keep that in mind. But with the limited online options, for the most part, it was just split into two options, that being for fun and for glory. I know there was the tournament mode, but honestly, I'm mostly going to talk about for fun and for glory, because you could customize the tournament mode a little bit, but even then, I felt it wasn't as fun as I hoped. But for fun and for glory, for the most part, it's just, you know, say random stages, and depending on which one you play, like for fun, it was just random 4 players, and for glory it was just 2 stocks and a final destination version of the stages. I wish you could actually pick from a certain stage list and say how many stocks you want, from say 2 to maybe even 5 for glory mode at least. And this is similar for the for fun mode, just change the stocks with time. I kind of feel at least being able to pick a stage is more fun, since you get more visual variety and you're not looking at a single flat stage with different backdrops, at least for glory. And for fun, it's obviously a very similar thing, and you also at least get to deal with the different stages gimmicks. It was also super annoying to get custom moves, and I feel they just didn't really think it out really all that well. Whenever you do stuff like classic mode and these specials and whatnot, you can either get a Mii outfit, a custom move, or other goodies. And at least say with the custom moves, it was random every single time and you can get the same ones over and over again. And while again I love using them, at some point it just gets super tiring since you're not always guaranteed new ones, and at some point I kind of gave up. I wish this wasn't the case because again they're all fun to use, and say if you already got one you could just lock that one away so you don't have to get it again. And I feel if it was like that it would be a lot more fun and a lot less tiring to get. I also found the rage mechanic to be a bit too busted in this game. I felt it started way too early at 35% and I found that it can kill at stupidly low percent sometimes. I didn't mind something like this being a game since I felt it was a nice combat mechanic. It's just again, I felt it was more cheap more often than not. Thankfully Ultimate slightly changed it and now it's a little bit more balanced, so at least I have that with Ultimate. That's pretty much all that I disliked about the game. Not a lot, I know. There was some other minor stuff like how some modes were changed, like classic mode on the Wii U version and stuff like Target Blast. I didn't exactly love. They're not bad, but I just prefer the older versions of them. And I don't overly dislike them to the point where I want to make this a point on the video. But I still think this entry is another great improvement over Brawl, Melee, and 64. It just has a lot of fan service and it's just super fun to play. But I want to hear what you guys liked and disliked about the game and let me know in the comments below. And of course for me, I'll just go over my own likes and dislikes before the video ends. Likes, most of the extra modes are fun for both the Wii U and the 3DS version. Really fun gameplay, great roster, game looks amazing, and custom moves are really fun. Dislikes, online doesn't have a lot of options, getting custom moves are really annoying, and rage isn't as balanced. Thank you all for watching and see you guys later.